morning, everyone. Just leaving Summerland, northbound on Highway 97. Always a beautiful viewpoint. Had the Grand Fondo race today, so there were bikes everywhere. Made it interesting. Went for a short motorcycle ride anyway to Naramata on the other side of this lake, Okanagan Lake. No race going on towards Naramata, so that worked out. Yesterday was fun though. A lot of fun. Went to Sawmill Lake, kayaking, found hundreds of painted turtles. They're endangered turtles apparently, so speed limit 90, okay. I guess they're starting to work on this slide area here. There's some equipment here. They're removing the slide. I guess it's stable enough that they can actually work on it now, and hopefully they'll open up all 4 lanes of the highway again. Yeah, I see no drilling or anything like that. So, oh, I saw mountain goats on the top, right at the top of the cliff. There was a mountain goat standing there. I don't know if you guys saw that, but a mountain goat standing up there. Yeah, I went kayaking yesterday. Lots of fun. Lots of baby geese and baby ducks out there and all sorts of birds and stuff. Our apple tree, the apples are starting to turn orange, or not orange, red. So maybe in another week or 2, the apples might be big enough to eat. There's just a wild apple tree. Well, it's like a tame apple tree, but it's just grows, one tree growing there, and it's an old tree. Have to bring a little step ladder, I think. The cows eat the bottom portions in like a cow pasture around the lake. It's open range. I guess not really cow pasture, it's open range. Jess is like, it looks like it might rain a bit. We should set up the gazebo. I'm like, okay, set up the gazebo. Basically, it's got a little roof, and then the sides are just mesh to keep bugs out. So we put our food in there, kept the bugs out. Sure enough, it started drizzling a bit. And I'm like, meh, good thing we got a gazebo. Went in there and sat inside the gazebo while it drizzled lightly, and went back out and cut some more firewood. And first I had to cut a tree down to get the firewood. I just went in. It's a place where all the firewood has pretty much been scavenged. Any kind of dead branches, it's all been scavenged. So I bring a new chainsaw we have with, and grab the quad and go out until I find a big dead tree that's still upright. Cut it down, and then Jess just said she heard this huge crash. I was actually pretty far away from the lake, so I'm surprised they could hear it that loud. So most of the tree's still laying there. I just cut a 10-foot section off of it and dragged that to the campsite. I used about 5 feet of it. Well, I cut about 5 feet of it into stumps, and then pulled out the small wood splitter and split some wood. So there's this big stack of firewood. I think we used, out of that 10 feet of tree I dragged down, we probably used about 2.5 feet of worth of wood, and the rest is all still sitting there. So somebody will be in luck and have lots of firewood. We intend to come back there next weekend if the weather's good. Who knows, my tree might still be there. And if my tree, the part of the tree that I drug to the campsite isn't there anymore, I'll just go back up into the forest and see if I really doubt anybody else is going to grab the tree that I cut down. So I'll go back to that spot and maybe cut that into sections again, and then strap chain around the trunk and drag another one to the campsite, cut that into stumps and make some more firewood. Our neighbors were scavenging for firewood, and they were just finding a little log here, a branch there. So I grabbed full arms, loaded my arms full of firewood, and went and dropped it off in their campsite while they were out fishing. When they came back, they had a bunch of firewood. Anonymous delivery. Not quite as anonymous as I thought, though, because later on they were going campsite to campsite and saw ours and goes, "Were you guys the people that delivered firewood to us?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess so." They thanked us for it and went back. They wanted to come find whoever delivered, made sure they thanked us, so that was nice of them. With a quad and a chainsaw and a maul, I don't think we'll ever run out of firewood in that area. There's enough standing dead trees that we can just drag chunks of logs down to the campsite. It was fun. It was a good workout. Chopping all that, or splitting all those stumps. Definitely a good workout. And the tree was not quite, almost 2 feet across. Pretty big tree. I don't think I could have touched my fingers around it. Pretty darn big tree. Quad had a very hard time pulling it to the campsite, but at first I tried the whole tree, and that was all 4 wheels of the quad just dug right into the ground. I'm like, okay, that's very obviously not going to work. So I cut a 10-foot section off, and even that, the first part I had to pull it uphill. I had to really work it to get it up the uphill part. Beach. A little bit hot. Coming in a little bit hot. Don't like coming in that hot. Could actually use a little bit of break. It wasn't more than 10 psi, but still. Beach isn't really sandy beach, it's like round little pebble rock type of beach. I see the restaurant's open today. I don't understand their hours and open. Look online, it's confusing as heck too, so. And when it is open, it's always busy, so They must have regular hours. I just don't understand what their regular hours are. We got here four-way flashers. So nobody opened doors on this side. Oh, four-way flashers are parked in front of a little trailer, so. Oh, and the pickup just pulled in and is backing up to the trailer. The little trailer had a flat tire, I think. Riding right along the Okanagan Lake. It's pretty late in the evening now. It's 7:30 now, 7:30. Still some boats out there. Some people enjoying the lake. During the day, the lake was just packed with boats, but people are probably out usually between lunch and supper. That's where all the boats are on the water. So some people have gone for supper and come back on the lake again. Or they just stayed on the lake for supper. Jet skis boogieing towards us here. So we're headed to Merritt. It means climbing over the connector. Heck of a tall climb. It's less than a 2-hour drive in our pickup, but I've given ourselves the 3-hour. I've given myself 3 hours to get there, so I think we can make it in 3 hours, but it's going to be a long, slow climb getting to the summit of the connector, into the sun, blinding sunlight, so need a little bit of time. Because I'm pretty heavy load. Because I was so brilliant and let the forklift driver know that, hey, I'm really light. Goes, in that case, let's add some more bundles. That's my job, right? My job to let them know that, hey, there's no room on here. Our company gets paid per feet. How many? The contract, the way, basically, the more square feet of lumber is on the back of my truck, the more Sutco gets paid. So I don't get paid a difference. In fact, I get paid less because it takes me a little bit longer to get over the connector because I'm heavier. Not a significant amount longer, but a little bit longer, a little more work. But my company makes more money. It's got to be a good thing if my boss is making more money, huh? Figure my job security is probably better if I can make the boss man more money. It's a trick someone told me many, many years ago. No matter how bad the economy gets, there's always room at the top for the best. So if you're going to be the best at a job, try to perform the best. Be in the top 10%. Work your butt off. When the economy takes a downturn, your job security is there. There's always room at the top. If the economy tanks, guess who they're going to keep? They're going to keep the best. So, like right now, there's this huge trucker shortage. They can't get enough trucks. What if that changed? If the economy tanked, Canada is likely going to go into a recession this next year here or so. What if it gets really bad? Economy tanks, things don't go well, and all of a sudden there's not jobs for us. If they have to lay off people, they're not going to lay off the best drivers. They're not going to lay off the best managers, the best cashiers, the best landscapers, the best accountants. If you're the best at a job, the best pilot, they're not going to lay you off. If your company goes bankrupt, you're in the best. Somebody will hire you. Another company will hire you if you were the best in a company. Never hurts to go the extra mile. All right, time to do a U-turn. We want to be on the connector. The connector is parallel to us, just to the left-hand side. It's just way up. Tell us what you think. Take the survey at drivebc.ca. Someone go take that survey for me and say they're doing a great job. I love their online app. Drive BC. It's so much easier than some state. When we're in Washington, Idaho, or Alberta, Saskatchewan, and we're like, oh, the weather looks kind of nasty. Let's look at the road conditions and stuff. BC, it's so easy on the app to go look at cameras, to look at the road closures, to look at the conditions. It's just all right there on the site. Different provinces and states are like, can't we just have all of this on one site that just works? It's so painful in some places. Go to bc.ca or drivebc. Something, I can't remember what the website is now. But I've got the app downloaded on my phone. Just click on it. I can see what the conditions of the road are on just the map. I can zoom in and look at the webcams.
Take the exit.
It's beautiful.
To Highway 97C West towards Mary.
Beautiful. Makes it easy for me to quickly check it out. Seclusion Bay. That is a popular name. I think almost every lake has Seclusion Bay in it. Let's head to Merritt. 97C, the connector. Jess is staying home this week. Oh, that's a lot of black lines across the road. Someone went for a ride, not just across my side of the road, the other side of the highway as well. They must have wiped out at a pretty high speed. how there are rubber marks over that center median. I don't know how the car didn't flip there, but here's our U-turn. That red dye in the rock there, that's not natural. That is red dye from fire repellent. When there's a forest fire up here, they were water bombing over here. That was what, 2 years ago now? Maybe more, I can't remember. Beside us, don't see anyone.
Continue on Highway 97 staying.
Now we're headed southwest. We were just headed northeast and now we're headed southwest. We'll turn west into the sun here pretty quick. It was a gorgeous day. It was a nice day to go on bike riding. I did go bike riding in short sleeves and shorts. Not necessarily the wisest decision, but I always think about before I go out, risk versus reward. I'm like, I know there's a Grand Fondo going on. We can't really go drive any high-speed roads. Let's drive up to Merritt. It's going to be packed full of wine tasting traffic, so it's going to be really slow riding, so it'll just be a slow cruise. I'm like, if I wipe out, I'll lose skin, hopefully not too much muscle. It's low risk of me wiping out, just going for a slow Sunday cruise. And now we're gonna get the blinding sun, so we're gonna be climbing many minutes up against this blinding sun. So thank you guys for watching. Hit that thumbs up. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Enjoy your Sunday. I know I've enjoyed the weekend so far. It's a good weekend. Good weekend.